Okay, today we're looking at lesson 1 in the new chapter, chapter 6 in our My Math book. So today we're going to be looking at a new strategy that'll help us be better at adding. It'll help us add a little bit faster. Before we start, and I know we've gone over this, but I want to show you again. These are called ones, right? Because there's just one. But if I put 10 of these together, so I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I put 10 ones together, then that becomes a group of 10, right? So today, instead of using ones to add, because that takes much longer, 1, 2, 3, I already know that these are groups of 10. So if I use groups of 10 to add, it helps me be so much faster. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be using our tens to add. So right here it says 3 tens. That means 3 groups of 10. So if I had 3 groups of 10, 1, 2, 3, 3 groups of 10 plus 2 tens, that means 2 groups of 10, 1, 2, 2 groups of 10. So 3 tens and 2 tens makes how many tens? How many groups of 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes 5 tens. Isn't 3 plus 2 5? Yeah, so 3 tens, and remember when I say tens, I mean groups of 10. I mean one group of 10. 3 tens plus 2 tens equals 5 tens. Now another way of looking at that is counting. So it's 10, 20, 30. So 3 tens really is 30. So if I were to put all the little cubes here, I would have 30 cubes. But wouldn't that take me so much longer to count if I had to count every single one? Yeah. So I know that really there are 30 cubes here. But if I count them in groups of 10, that helps me be so much faster. So 3 groups of 10 really equals 30. 2 groups of 10 equals 20. And look I have a 0 at the end, right? So if I'm adding tens, I'm going to add the first 2 numbers. 3 and 2 equals 5. And then the 0 stays the same. So really 30 plus 20 equals 50. So I can do that. That's kind of a little trick. I look at the first number, 3 and 2, and I add those. 3 plus 2 equals 5, and I bring the 0 over. That gives me 50. Or I count my groups of 10. 30 plus 20 equals 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So all together here I have 50 cubes. Okay, let's try another one. And if you have your manipulatives with you, I want you using those, okay? Even if you're like, Miss Cortez, I know how to do this already. So we are on page 448 in your My Math book, 448. This says find 20 plus 20 by adding the tens. So if you look at the picture here, that's 2 groups of 10. 2 tens is 2 groups of 10. Plus 2 tens equals 4 tens. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 10. 2 tens is 20, 10, 20, plus 10, 20. That equals 40 all together. So 4 tens equals 40. That means 4 groups of 10 equals 40 squares. Okay, now we're going to use our manipulatives to add here. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 says 4 tens and 2 tens. So 4 tens, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 2 tens, plus 1, 2. How many tens are there all together? Well, let's count them. And please remember, when I say tens, we mean a group, right? So I don't want to know how many ones there are. I'm not going to count every single one. I want to know how many groups there are. So when we say tens, we mean how many groups. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 tens plus 2 tens equals 6 tens. And then we're gonna look at over here. So 4 tens is really 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. 40 plus 20. How much is that? So this doesn't say tens. So now I want to know how many squares there are. And to do that, I can count by tens. So I have 40. So 40, 50, 60. That's why it's so important that I know how to count by tens, right? It makes it so much easier. So 40, 50, 60. So 40 plus 20 equals 60. Let's try number 2. 6 tens. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tens plus 1 10 is how many tens? Remember, when we say tens, it means groups. So how many tens? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. So if we have 7 tens, how many ones do you think we have? 60 plus 10. Well, I have 60. 60 plus 10, so now I'm just counting. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So that equals 70. So 7 tens is equal to 70. 7 groups of 10 gives me 70 little cubes in here. Okay, we're gonna do up to number 5 together. 5 tens, we're looking at number 3 now. 5 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tens plus 2 tens. 1, 2. How many tens is that? Well, I'm going to count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of 10. So 5 tens is 50. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus 20, 10, 20. How much is that all together? 50 plus 20. So that's 50, 60, 70. And if you're not ready to count off yet, you can count them from the beginning. So we go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, let's look at number 4. Number 4 says 7 tens. 1, 2, I'm looking at number 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 2 10s plus 2 10s. How many 10s is that all together? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That gives me 9 10s. 9 groups of 10. So if I have 7 10s, that is 70 plus 20. How much is that all together? Now I want to know how many squares there are all together, not groups. I want to know if I were to count every single square, how many there are all together. So 70 plus 20. So that's 70, 80, 90. That gives me 90. And do you notice anything? 7 10s is 70. 2 10s is 20. And 9 10s is 90. Look at that. Okay, let's do number 5. 8 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 10s plus 1 10. How many 10s altogether? 8 plus 1 is 9 10s. So here I have 80 because there are 8 10s. So there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 plus 1, 80 plus 10 more, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So there are 90 little squares here. So now your Talk Math says, how does knowing 2 plus 5 help you find 20 plus 50? If you have an adult by you, I'd like you to explain to them, if I know what 2 plus 5 is, how does that help me know what 20 plus 50 is? It's that little trick I showed you before, right? It's 2 groups of 10 equals 20 plus 5 groups of 10 equals 50. So if I can add 2 plus 5, I can add 2 plus 5. That equals 7. And then all I have to do is add my zeros. So if I know what 2 plus 5 is, I know that I can add how many groups of 10 there are. All right. You are going to do on your own, you're going to do number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, I'm going to do number 12 and 13 with you. You're going to do 14 and 15. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 problems. I'm going to do number 12. So go ahead and jump to number 12 with me. This is the same except it's vertical addition. So if we have 3 groups of 10, 3 10s, 1, 2, 3, plus 4 10s, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many 10s is that all together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That gives me 7 10s all together. Remember, when we say 10s, we mean how many groups? Now, 3 10s is equal to 30. 10, 20, 30. 3 groups of 10 really means 30 little squares. Let's count them to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 3 groups of 10 is really saying 30. Plus 4 groups of 10, that equals 40 little cubes. So 30 plus 40 is really, what's 3 plus 4? 3 plus 4 is 7, and that 0 stays the same. So 7 tens equals 70. All I did, if you noticed, I did 3 plus 4, and then that 0 I just brought down. 0 plus 0 is 0. Let's do number 13. Number 13 says 1 10 plus 5 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many tens is that? 1 10 plus 5 tens. Remember, tens means groups. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. Now I can do this 2 ways. To find 10 plus 50, I can count these by tens. I can go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or I can look at my numbers and I can say, okay, 1 plus 5 equals 6, 0 plus 0 equals 0. So I'm adding down like this. Okay. And let's look at our back page. So you are responsible for number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, and 15. Let's flip the page to page 450 in your My Math book. Number 16 is a word problem. So remember, we're going to underline what we know and circle what we need to find. It says, there are 50 boys and 20 girls. 50 boys. So how many groups of 10 do I need? I need 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That should be 5 groups of 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 50 boys and 20 girls. How many children, my pencil, are at basketball camp in all? And underline in all. In all means I'm gonna add, or am I gonna subtract? In all means add. Remember, in all means add, sum means add, all together means add. So I have 50 boys, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 20 girls. 10, 20 girls. How many children are at basketball camp in all? So we want to know how many children. That means how many squares? How many ones? How do we figure that out? Well, I can count by tens. I know this is one group of 10, so I go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 70 children. Okay, I'm gonna help you a little bit with number 17, but you are responsible for this one by yourself. And then we're gonna check our answers tomorrow. It says there are 30 children, so let's underline what we know. There are 30 children at dance class on Tuesday. 30 children at dance class on Tuesday. 30 other children are at dance class on Wednesday. How many children are at dance class in all? Uh-oh. How many children are in dance class in all? What are our keywords here? In all. What does that mean? Are we going to add or subtract? We are going to add. In all means add. A-L-L means A-D-D. Add. So there were 30 children at dance class. So I know this is a group of 10. So I go 10, 20, 30. 30 children are at dance class on Tuesday, and on Wednesday there are another 30. 10, 20, 30. How many children are at dance class in all? Now remember, this one isn't asking how many tens of children there are at dance class. It's saying how many children. So you're looking for ones. How can you figure out how many ones there are? How many children? I'm going to leave this one to you. I want you to put your answer and then we will check it tomorrow. Last but not least, Right Math says, will there be any ones in the answer when you add 50 plus 40? So will there be any ones left over when you add 50 plus 40? Let's check. 50 plus 40, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 50 plus 40, 10, 20, 30, 40. Are there any ones left over when we add 50 plus 40? Yes or no? What do you think? Do you see any of these left over? So your question says, will there be any ones? Will there be any of these left in the answer when you add 50 plus 40? What do you think? So if we add these, what is our answer? It's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So 50 plus 40 is 90. Are there any ones left over? Yes or no? So you're either going to say yes right here or no, and you're going to explain because I'm going to help you with this one. Do you see any of these left over? No, I don't. No, because all of these are in groups of 10. So if they're in groups of 10, nobody's left out. No ones are left out. These are all in groups of 10. So there are no ones left in my answer. If I did 50 plus 41, then yeah, there would be this little guy left over. Even when I added these, this little guy would be hanging out on the outside because he doesn't have a group. But he's not here. This is our group. So there's no ones in our outside because they're all in groups of 10. So no, because they are groups of 10, or they are tens. So So because they're all 10s, there are no little guys left out. There are no 1s left. Okay? So go ahead and work on the ones that you are responsible for. And if you already did this homework, then you're going to move on to the next lesson.